So what's up everybody, it's Movies. So I got you guys with a brand new video, and today, as you guys see by the title and have probably heard on the news, Sports Center, ESPN, NFL Network, all that jazz, the Eagles have, not officially, but when the new league year starts on Wednesday at 4 p.m., they will have traded Demarco to the Tennessee Titans and Byron Maxwell and Kiko Alonso to the Miami Dolphins for an undisclosed amount of draft picks. I think that amount will be disclosed once the new league year hits and once they confirm the trade. Just wanted to give my thoughts on it real quick. So I'll start off with the first trade that they made was with Kiko and Byron Maxwell, and I think that it's a hard trade because when you look at it on one hand, it's a great trade for the Eagles because Maxwell is getting paid way too much and Kiko Alonso is getting burned. Maxwell is getting burned. He could not stay in front of everybody. So when you look at it in that respect, it's a good trade. But when you look at another respect, you could say, okay, Kiko was coming off an injury. Maybe we brought him back too quickly. Byron Maxwell, you know, he didn't really play too well in the beginning of the year. He kind of stabilized in the middle and then sucked again in the end. But maybe you could make the argument of him being in a gym shorts defense, of him using his strengths and playing more zone rather than leaving him out on an island by himself, like 10 yards off the receiver. You could make an argument. Me, how I feel about it, I feel like it was a necessary evil to cut ties with these guys. Maxwell, we paid him, I think, what was it, like 6 years, $63 million. So that's a very high cap number. Kiko did not have a big of a contract, but if the guy is not playing well, what's the point of keeping him on the team? What's the point if he's not going to play well? Maxwell consistently getting burned. He does not know how to tackle. He, instead of actually wrapping up the guy and then going for the ball, what he does is he tries to punch out the ball or yank it out or do whatever instead of actually wrapping up. So once he's like, alright, so I got him down, then you go for the ball. You don't just go for the ball, snatch at it, and not make the tackle. Kiko would just be getting burned by everybody, even fullbacks that would go out into the pass. Like if they were running a concept where the fullback would go out for a pass, fullback would, you know, make a little move, and Kiko would get cracked. He would be on the ground. So he was not good at all. So I support it, but to people who don't support it, I see where you guys are coming from. But in my personal opinion, I think that it was a necessary evil to part with those guys. Now on to Murray, who's going to get traded to the Tennessee Titans. As for this one, I completely support this decision, and it's not necessarily for the reason you may think. Now, I know Murray did not play well, yada yada. You guys can use the excuse of he didn't fit the system. Okay. Some of the reads he was making when he was running the ball. So like there'll be a hole that opens up, and instead of cutting back, he'll keep running. He'll run around the offensive line to lose yards instead of maybe, you know, out of the corner of his eye he sees a hole open up, he cuts back and turns upfield. No, he decides to run around offensive line, and he decides to slide before he gets hit. And he decides to step out of bounds instead of, you know, fighting for those extra 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. You know what I'm saying? The effort really was not there at all. And then when he does get into the open field, he's so slow. Oh my God. He is one of the slowest running backs I've ever seen. Even in the open fields. You can't use that excuse of, oh, well, he didn't build up speed. Well, he didn't build up speed. Okay, you can say that for, you know, short runs out of the shotgun that don't go anywhere. But if he's upfield, if he's like past the first down, he's trying to run for a touchdown, and he's still going really slow, either he's holding back, which is not good, or he's really slow, which is not good. Add to that, he was a locker room distraction, a locker room poison. After the win in New England, which everybody had us losing, to the point where the NFL moved us out of the primetime slot and, you know, just relegated us to the, whatever, it's the second 4 o'clock game. No one's really going to care. After we pull out that big upset, the first thing he does is on the plane talks to Jeffrey Lurie about, oh, well, I'm not getting enough touches. Are you kidding me? You just beat the New England Patriots who won the Super Bowl last year. We're on a tear. I think they were like, what, like 13-1 when we beat them? You don't just go, not any team can just go in and beat a 13-1 team. And he wasn't even happy. He just, I don't know, he just did not, his heart was not in Philly. You could tell he didn't like Philly. He couldn't take the pressure of the fans because the first time in his career, the blame was put on him and not on somebody else. All his career, you know, the blame was put on Tony Romo or on Jerry Jones or on Jason Garrett or whoever. Now for the first time, the blame was put on him. And you know the fans here in Philly, we don't mess around. If you're not performing, we're going to let you hear it. And we let him hear it. He couldn't take the heat, so get out of the kitchen. Have fun in Tennessee with a 3-13 team who has... You thought our offensive line was bad. Wait till you see Tennessee. They have a terrible offensive line. Not one player on that offensive line is good. At least we have 3 good guys. You could even say 2. Okay? You could say that Jason Peters is, you know, declining. He's still a pretty good offensive lineman. He's still above the rest of the league's average of offensive linemen. Then we got Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey. In Tennessee, they have nobody. Nobody. And they don't even have any good receivers besides Delaney Walker as their tight end. I don't see how that situation is going to work out for Murray, but good for him. I don't care. What I'm really seeing here in these moves is that Roseman is, I kind of see it as an ego thing right now. He's trying to, you know, rebuild his ego or whatever, trying to say, I'm the man in charge now. Yeah, Chip Kelly, he's out. It's my job now. You know, kind of beating his chest. And the moves he's doing right now are pretty good. They are sound. They are smart. But if he starts moving people like Sproles, who else? Who else did Chip bring in? People like Sproles. I can't think of any on the top of my head. People like Sproles who work hard, come to work every day, and keep us in games and are very versatile. But he just wants to get rid of them because Chip Kelly brought him in. Then that's when he's going to start getting a little crazy. Roseman's not out of the clear yet. He's done everything right. But this is the part where he struggles. The draft. The draft. This is where we've seen the Danny Watkins of the world. This is where we've seen the Marcus Smiths of the world. This is where we've seen the... Brandon Graham is good, but he had an opportunity to take Earl Thomas, but instead took Brandon Graham. Okay? So I'm going to say the Brandon Grahams of the world, even though he is a stud for us, we really could have had that safety problem fixed a while back in 2012, 2011, if we had Earl Thomas back there. So this is where he struggles, and I have a feeling that if we don't do good this year, Roseman's going to be out. I have that feeling. Because it kind of feels like Jeffrey Lurie's like, okay, everyone's telling me not to trust you. This is the second time so far I've trusted you as the GM. Prove it to me, and if you don't, you're out. So that was just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out my Facebook page for the copyrighted videos that are not up on this channel that you guys can't see. And yeah, just tell me what you guys think about it down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Mobius12, I'm out. Peace.